Poverty, inequality, climate change, social issues impact us all. In this episode, we'll explore key words that describe major global challenges. With definitions, real-world examples, and images, let's talk about the vocabulary of social issues. Catastrophe as noun. A final event or conclusion, usually an unfortunate one, a climax or turning point. An event causing great and often sudden damage or suffering, a disaster. The earthquake was a catastrophe, leaving entire cities in ruins and thousands of people homeless. The sinking of the Titanic remains one of the most notorious maritime catastrophes in history. The collapse of the bridge was averted at the last minute, preventing a potential catastrophe. The wildfires spread rapidly, resulting in an environmental catastrophe for the region. The financial crisis of 2008 was a catastrophe for millions of people who lost their homes and jobs. Elite as noun. A select group of individuals or organizations that are considered superior in terms of wealth, status, power, skill, or influence. The best or most skilled members of a particular group or society, often seen as having exclusive privileges or advantages. The elite of society often gather at exclusive events and galas. The elite of the business world are often invited to participate in high-profile conferences and forums. The political elite held significant influence over government decisions. Admission to the prestigious university was limited to the academic elite. The elite athletes trained rigorously for years to reach the pinnacle of their sport. Secular as adjective. Not religious, relating to worldly or temporal matters. Occurring or observed once in an age or century, belonging to the worldly realm rather than the spiritual. The museum displays both religious and secular art pieces. The holiday has both secular and religious significance for different communities. They chose to have a secular ceremony rather than a religious one. The university offers courses on secular ethics and philosophy. The country has a secular government that separates church and state. Privilege as verb. To grant someone a special advantage, right, or immunity. To bestow with a particular benefit or advantage. To treat someone with special favor or preference. To give someone preferential treatment. In some societies, certain groups are privileged based on factors such as race, gender, or social class. The government privileged individuals with disabilities by providing accessible facilities and accommodations. The university privileged students from underrepresented communities with scholarships and mentorship programs. The company privileged its long-standing employees with bonuses and promotions. Employers often privilege candidates with relevant work experience over those with similar qualifications but less experience. Poverty is noun. The quality or state of being characterized by scarcity, deprivation, or insufficiency, often associated with economic hardship or disadvantage. The state or condition of lacking sufficient material resources or wealth to meet basic needs such as food, shelter, and clothing. Many families in the region live in poverty, struggling to afford necessities like food and medicine. The government implemented programs to alleviate poverty and improve living conditions for low-income communities. Poverty rates can vary significantly between urban and rural areas, as well as across different demographic groups. Poverty is a complex social issue with deep-rooted causes such as inequality, lack of access to education, and economic instability. Charities and nonprofit organizations work to address the root causes of poverty and provide assistance to those in need. Inequality as noun. A difference in size, degree, circumstances, etc. especially as perceived as unjust. The condition of being unequal, lack of equality, especially in opportunity, treatment, or status. Economic inequality is widening between the rich and the poor. The educational system should strive to reduce inequality in access to quality education. There is a growing awareness of income inequality and its impact on society. Racial inequality continues to be a challenge in achieving social justice. Gender inequality remains a significant issue in many parts of the world. Deprived as verb, to deny or withhold something from someone, especially something considered essential for well-being or happiness. To prevent someone from having or enjoying the benefits of something. Growing up in a war-torn region, she was deprived of a sense of safety and security. Discrimination and prejudice can deprive individuals of their rights and opportunities based on factors such as race, gender, or religion. Economic inequality can deprive individuals and communities of opportunities for upward mobility. Being deprived of adequate nutrition during childhood can have long-term health consequences. The children were deprived of a proper education due to poverty and lack of resources. Humanitarian as adjective. Compassionate and altruistic towards others, especially those in need. Concerned with or promoting human welfare and social reform. She is a humanitarian person who devotes her time and resources to helping those in need. The company's humanitarian initiatives include supporting local charities and volunteering in the community. The government has implemented humanitarian policies to address the needs of marginalized communities. The organization provides humanitarian aid to refugees and victims of natural disasters. The doctor's humanitarian efforts have saved countless lives in war-torn countries. Humanitarian as noun. A person who is compassionate and altruistic towards others, especially those in need. A person who is concerned with or promotes human welfare and social reform. The group of humanitarians coordinated efforts to evacuate the civilians from the war zone. The journalist became a humanitarian after witnessing the suffering of children in the conflict zone. The organization's team of humanitarians is working to improve conditions in the impoverished community. The humanitarian traveled to the refugee camp to provide medical aid and supplies. The young woman's career goal is to become a humanitarian and work for international aid organizations. Secular as noun. A member of the clergy who is not bound by religious vows and is involved in non-religious affairs. A person who is not affiliated with any religious or spiritual belief. As a secular, she values science and reason over faith. The conference was attended by both religious leaders and seculars interested in social issues. The organization provides support for seculars seeking community and connection. John considers himself a secular and prefers to approach life without religious influence. Seculars make up a significant portion of the population in this region. Discrimination as noun. The act of distinguishing or differentiating between things based on perceived differences or preferences. The unjust or prejudicial treatment of individuals or groups based on certain characteristics such as race, gender, age, religion, or sexual orientation. Workplace discrimination based on age is prohibited by law. The company has a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination and harassment in the workplace. Gender discrimination in hiring practices can limit opportunities for women in certain industries. Racial discrimination remains a significant issue in many societies. Discrimination against individuals with disabilities is a violation of their rights. Privilege is noun. A special right, advantage, or immunity granted to or enjoyed by a particular person or group, a benefit or advantage not available to everyone. The social, economic, or cultural advantages enjoyed by members of a dominant or privileged group in society. Economic privilege often manifests in access to resources, opportunities, and networks that facilitate success. Privilege can sometimes blind individuals to the challenges and inequalities faced by marginalized groups. White privilege refers to the societal advantages and benefits experienced by white people due to their race. Access to quality education is considered a privilege that not everyone has equal opportunity to obtain. Male privilege can manifest in various aspects of life, including employment, politics, and personal safety. Immigration as noun. The act of coming to live permanently in a foreign country. The process or policy of allowing people to enter a country for the purpose of establishing permanent residency. Many families fled their homeland and sought immigration to escape persecution and build a better life elsewhere. Immigration policies vary greatly from country to country, with some nations being more welcoming to immigrants than others. The government implemented strict immigration controls to manage the influx of migrants. Immigration can bring both opportunities and challenges to host countries, shaping their cultural, social, and economic landscapes. The city's diverse population is a testament to its history of immigration and multiculturalism. Redistribute as verb. To allocate or distribute resources or income differently from the existing distribution. To distribute or apportion something differently or again. The charity aims to redistribute surplus food to those in need. They decided to redistribute the workload among team members to ensure fairness. The company announced plans to redistribute office space to accommodate its growing workforce. The government plans to redistribute wealth through tax reforms. The organization's goal is to redistribute resources more equitably among its members. Ethics is noun. The branch of philosophy that deals with questions of morality, principles of right and wrong conduct, and the study of ethical principles and values. The moral principles, standards, or guidelines that govern individual or group behavior and decision-making in a particular context. Medical professionals are bound by a strict code of ethics that emphasizes patient care and confidentiality. Ethical considerations play a crucial role in scientific research, ensuring the welfare and rights of human subjects. Journalists adhere to ethical standards of truthfulness, accuracy, and fairness in reporting. Business ethics dictate how companies should conduct themselves in their interactions with customers, employees, and stakeholders. Legal professionals are expected to uphold the highest ethical standards in their practice of law. Refugee is noun. A person who has been forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. A person who has been forced to leave their home and seek refuge elsewhere, typically in another country. The humanitarian organization works to provide aid and support to refugees worldwide. She was granted asylum in a neighboring country after being recognized as a refugee. Many refugees risk their lives crossing dangerous borders in search of safety. The government announced plans to accept a larger number of refugees fleeing the crisis. The refugee camp provided shelter for thousands fleeing the conflict. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.